I just wanted to make a video to show you how to access Crunchit. Let's start with the assignments page. So this is your assignments page. Let's click on homework. And not all questions require Crunchit, but some might require Crunchit. And if Crunchit is required, you'll see the link right below the question. So for example, this question is just asking you to list all the variables under categorical and quantitative. So that's a different type of question. You do not need technology. Let's look at the first question that requires technology. So I want you to just pause the video, excuse me, and read the question first. So this is CDC data, and it's giving leading causes of deaths in young people, or rather people in the age group of 45 to 54, and the 10 leading causes of death, not all causes of death, but leading causes of death. It's asking us to make a bar chart, right? That's what it's asking us to do here. So in order to make a bar chart, we need the actual data. So as I said in my announcement, use Crunchit because it's the easiest. You could use any of these if you have experience with any of these statistical software, but let's just click on Crunchit. The best part is you don't have to enter the data into Crunchit. It's already preloaded. So that's the advantage of using the statistical software provided by the textbook website. So now we're going to make a bar graph. Notice that death cause is a categorical variable, right? It's not quantitative, it's a categorical variable. It's words that describe a disease, right? And these are called raw data because these data have not been summarized into a distribution where you have the cause of death in the first column and the counts in each bucket in the next column. So it's not been cleaned up. That's why it's called raw data. So what we're going to do is go to graphics because we're going to construct a graph. We need to make a bar graph because this is leading causes of death and not all causes of death. So we're going to make a bar graph with not summarized. It's not summarized as yet. These data are raw data. Summarized, as I said before, is causes of death in the first column and the counts in the second column. It's not been counted and summarized, so we go with raw data. The sample obviously is death cause. Basically, it's asking us to choose the data, and here we don't have much to choose from. There's only one data set. And the X label would be death cause. And the Y label, the Y-axis, would be the counts. So the bar kind of tells us, the height of the bar tells us how many people come under the category, let's say cancer, for example, the death cause cancer. Let's see how many fall in the category death cause heart disease and so on. So we make bars, and the height of the bar gives us the counts in that particular category. And all you do is hit calculate, and you get the death cause. Notice that the tallest bar is cancer. So maximum number of deaths happens under the category of cancer. The second highest bar is heart disease. So the second most populated bucket is heart disease, and then comes accidents and then stroke. So you can kind of see a visual of the counts in each bucket. So that gives us a rough idea that we can quickly summarize the information just by looking at the bar graph. Now, if you have to, let's say, I don't think the software would do any sort of ascending or descending order, so don't worry about it. As long as you can see which one is the highest and which one is the lowest, you can figure that out. The only way that you could do any sort of ordering of bar charts is by, I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, but you could put it in alphabetical order by putting an A in front of cancer, and that'll make the cancer bar show up first. But that's going to be a lot of work. Don't worry about it. Although it does say that you need to order the bars, it'll be too much work to be able to do that. I don't think there's any nice way of doing it because it doesn't provide that particular function in this software. I don't see it anywhere that you can order the bars, and you can ignore that part, but the rest you just do it by using this sort of graphics. Now obviously we cannot use a pie chart because all the information is not given to us. It's only partial information. So if we had to do a pie chart, this is how we would do it, although it's not something we could do for this data set. I'm just doing it just to show you how to use it. Sample is death cause. Title could just be leading causes of death. You can type that in and you hit calculate, and it gives you a pie chart. Although a pie chart is not appropriate for this because this is just the leading causes of death, not all causes of death. So I'm just trying to show you that using the statistical software is easy because the data comes preloaded. Now let's go back to the question. Let's look at question number 9. That's another question where you might have to use Crunchit. And these are data. And what exactly they're measuring? The number of prescriptions per year, or rather, number of prescriptions per 100 people is given here. So these are quantitative data, and number of prescriptions is the variable. And we just have a bunch of 100 numbers, right? So these are raw data. They have not been summarized as yet. So since this is since these are quantitative data, the variable is quantitative, we can use a histogram and not a bar graph. We'd have to use a histogram. So these are the data preloaded. You don't have to enter anything. Let's go to graphics, and then it says histogram. So just click on histogram. Choose the column that is appropriate. Here there's only one, so that's the only one that we pick. Now usually the number of bins is about 5 or 6. Let's just put 6. We don't need to put the bin width if we have specified how many bins we want. So the software will automatically have 5 bars. It's not really called a bar graph, but you do see bars, and that is what we've specified instead of the bin width. We can put a title, appropriate title. The X label is always the measurement. It's the number of prescriptions. You can do it, I mean, you can say what you want, but let's say number of prescriptions per 100. And then you hit calculate and you get a bar graph. So this is how you construct a bar graph. So the bar graph gives you a rough shape. What does this distribution look like? It looks somewhat like a bell, somewhat, but slightly skewed to the right because it has a longish tail on the right. Okay, so that's what a histogram is for, just to see the rough shape of the distribution. Now, for any reason in a let's say a problem set, you had to attach this graph. The only way to do that, let me see if I can show that to you, is to save the image first. Okay, I don't think copy and pasting the image works. Save the image first on your computer, and then you can copy it and paste it onto a Word document. Okay, if you have any questions, please email me and I can make another video to explain whatever needs an explanation.